Welcome once again to Cinematic Tendency, and today we have another new video of Jean-Claude Watches. And if you're new here, Jean-Claude Watches is a series of videos that I started doing recently. Obviously, Jean-Claude Watches is about my son Jean-Claude, and in this series I show him either movie trailers or movie scenes of different movies that I watched growing up back in the day. Most of these movies are from the 80s and the 90s, the golden era of action cinema. But of course I got a few other movies more like from the 70s, mainly Bruce Lee movies. And yeah, all of these movies that I've been showing him and that I will continue showing him are movies that left a print in my life. So I want to share that with him. How you doing, kid?
Good.
Good? Doing all right?
Mm-hmm.
Today I am going to be showing you a movie trailer of the movie. It's a Van Damme movie. You haven't seen it yet. You have seen some of his movies. Obviously, you know who is Jean-Claude Van Damme, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's the man you were named after. That's right. So you gotta live up to that name. That's why I'm always asking you to keep stretching, so you can get those beautiful kicks like he did back in the day. Well, he still kicks. And so this movie is from 1991, and it's called Double Impact, because in this movie we get two Van Dammes. We get double the power, double the kicks, double the manliness. That's why it's Double Impact, right? So here he has a twin brother. It's gonna be Chad and Alex Wagner. All right. So here's the movie. I got the DVD and I got the Blu-ray, as you can see. And
does he play both?
Oh yeah.
How?
How? I want to tell you shortly how. Actually, I'm going to tell you two short true stories. All right. So this one right here, this is Chad, and this one right here, this is Alex. Okay. So they grew up in different cities, in different countries. Actually, I want to tell you a little bit about it. So this movie was written and directed by Sheldon Lettich. Remember that movie that we watched one time, Only the Strong? The one about capoeira, the one singing Banana Way.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's the same writer and director. So he directed that, and he directed this movie, and he directed that one that you were asking me this morning, Wrong Bet, also known as Lionheart, also known as A War. So Lionheart has like 3 different titles for some reason. But so going back to Sheldon Lettich. And I'm gonna tell you guys as well. One of my YouTube buddies, his name or his YouTube name is the Viking Samurai. I had him here on this channel. He's a huge Van Damme fan, just like myself. So that's why he and I connect really well. And so I had him here in my channel. We were talking about Van Damme. So if you haven't seen that live stream, you can click on that link above. So he interviewed the Viking Samurai. He interviewed several times Sheldon Lettich, which, like I said, is the director of that movie and the writer. And Sheldon, he was sharing like kind of like a funny story about Van Damme playing both characters. So because Chad and Alex, right, they were born in the same country, but they grew up in different countries. Once you watch the movie, you're gonna know why. So Chad, he was raised like in Beverly Hills, right, in California. So he's surrounded by, beautiful women and like a nice neighborhoods and stuff like that. And he was raised by a friend of his family, like a tutor. So he has like a father figure, right? Now Alex, he is raised in I think he's raised in Hong Kong in the movie, but he's raised in foster homes and orphanages, so he's on the streets all the time. So he had like a very different upbringing, different than his twin brother. So in order for Van Damme to prepare playing two different characters, one of the things that he did, he had to learn how to do different tones of voices. All right, because like I said, one of his characters was grew up in one country, the other one grew up in another country, and also on the streets. So he was doing like vocal exercises. That way he would sound different when he was playing two different roles. And Sheldon, in the same interview, he shares like some people found, some people saw him, Sheldon, they saw him, like out and about. And when they were talking about this movie, some people thought that Van Damme actually had a twin brother in real life. And Sheldon thought it was funny because he's like, no. So that pretty much tells you how well Van Damme did portraying two different characters, two identical twin brothers. And I'm not doing any justice to this story, so what I am gonna do, click on that link above, and you're gonna hear the story, and you're gonna see that interview that Viking Samurai did with writer and director Sheldon Lettich. All right, so like how a lot of these movies, like some of these Van Damme movies, they have like a memorable scene, right? For instance, Bloodsport has that scene of the D-Mac, right? That death touch when he breaks the brick.
Oh yeah.
That's a very memorable. Another scene in the same movie is that the splits when he's fighting the sumo wrestler.
Yeah.
And he does the splits and does the punch.
Yeah.
That's pretty memorable. Is that cool or what? Huh? That's so memorable and so epic. Remember that I told you this, that the creators of Mortal Kombat, Johnny Cage is based on Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's why Johnny Cage is also a movie star. Johnny Cage does the splits and does that hit, right? Just like Van Damme. I told you the story already before. You haven't forgotten, right?
Mm-mm.
You better not forget all this important stuff. All right, so you don't remember this because you were like 1 or 2 years old. But well, I'm gonna tell you this story in a bit. But first, I'm gonna show you this scene because this scene that I'm gonna show you is from Double Impact, and in my opinion, is one of those scenes that is pretty memorable in a Van Damme movie. Just like Chance is biting the rattlesnake in the movie Hard Target. So this scene, I believe, is very memorable, and so I'm gonna show it to you, and then I'm gonna show you a photo that I took, or your mom took actually. All right, let's watch this.
Doing well. Stretching is so important. For example, because of my big legs and karate, I can do the splits no problem.
Back and forth.
It's good. You're right, and you're big with it, man. Yeah. So, you go to karate class.
See, that's why I'm always bugging you to always keep stretching your legs every day, right? That way you can kick better and have more flexibility. So this scene is very memorable for this particular movie, Double Impact. At least it's been to me, and a lot of fans of Van Damme, they remember this. It's not a one line, but this like, because of my big legs and karate, I can do the splits, no problem. So going back to what I was telling you, when you were like 1 or 2 years old, your mom and I and your sibling, we went to this playground, and and your mom took this picture of you. Like I said, you don't remember because you were too young, and you were like facing these girls. Those girls were like kind of around you, and you were facing them. And I didn't see the picture. I mean, I didn't see when your mom took the picture, but when your mom showed me the picture that she took, I saw the picture and I was thinking about this scene for for whatever reason. Anyway, so what I'm gonna show you now is gonna be the trailer of Double Impact. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and you know who is in this movie too? Bolo Young, also known as Chong Li from Bloodsport. He's in this movie.
Who does he play as?
He plays another bad guy. He usually plays bad guys.
Yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That's right.
He always makes an impact. Now, get ready.
Oh yeah.
Double impact. There's two of them. Think about it. Van Damme. Times two.
He looks exactly like you.
Me? Twin brothers. Reunited on a mission. Watch my back. To avenge their parents' death. One packs a punch. One packs a piece. But to me, together, they deliver.
Boom.
Double impact. Excuse me.
That's how you open the doors.
From Hollywood to the Far East. On land. On sea. And in the air. They're damn quick. Express service.
Fighting
Damn
Bolo.
cool. Damn hot.
So know what we do. That's what I love about you.
Van Damme.
Boom.
Times two. Double the fun.
I would never in my life wear black silk underwear. I'm with you on that one.
And double
That's right.
the man damage.
Chad wears
Double impact.
silk underwear. Chad, because he grew up in the States, right? He grew up in Beverly Hills. He wears silk underwear. So his brother Alex makes fun of him. Another short true story about this movie. I have very cool memories. I remember when I was in 8th grade. I was in middle school. I've been into Van Damme since around that time, probably a little before that time. I remember, like in my school, all the students, we had to kind of wrap our notebooks. All right, I guess it would give like better protection. I don't know if they still do it nowadays, but back then you had to, like remove like the spiral, right? Like your spring that it has, you remove it, and then you would put some sort of paper to decorate your notebook, and then after that you would put a layer of plastic, like a clear plastic, and then you would insert the spiral again. And that was, I don't know why, I mean, I guess just to look better or to keep, to maintain the notebooks, to last longer. Whatever the case it was, I remember for my geography class, I had my teacher, and he wasn't very friendly. He always looked like he was having a bad day. Probably he didn't like his job. That's what I think now. So he used to teach me geography, right? And I remember one day he called me to go up to his desk because he was gonna check my homework, and he was gonna make sure he was gonna check that my notebook was all wrapped the way they had asked us to do. And I had on the front of it, I had a poster, a cutout of the poster of Double Impact, like the official poster. And this poster, it wasn't from a magazine, it wasn't like a cheap copy from China or whatever. This was an original poster from a video store. Now, you don't know what a video store is. But video stores back then, they had original posters. Some of these posters were only for video stores. Like movie theaters would get a poster, and video stores would get either the same or a variation. And some of these posters were just for video stores. So somebody that I knew back then, she gave me a lot of those posters from Van Damme, from the video store where she used to work. And I remember, so I did a cutout and I put it on my notebook for geography class, and oh, it looked phenomenal. It looks so cool. My notebook, because it has, like I said, double impact poster. And I remember my teacher, he graded my homework, and then he closed my notebook, right? And he looks, and then he looked at me, and he gave me my notebook. He said, "This is ugly." He said that to me. You know what I said? You know what I told him?
What?
Nothing. No, I didn't say anything to him. I just thought to myself, yeah, dude, whatever. I didn't say anything, but obviously he was wrong, because I have an awesome geography notebook wrapped with the poster of Double Impact. Yeah, that's a true story, but anyway, he was wrong. All right, guys, so what about you guys? Have you guys seen this movie, Double Impact, written and directed by Sheldon Lettich in 1991, starring Van Damme ×2? If you have, let me know down in the comments. Also, any memory that you may have about the movie. And I never seen this movie in theaters. If you did, hey, please let us know down below too. And since we're talking about Van Damme, let us know what's your favorite Van Damme movie, or if you have seen this movie already, what's your favorite moment? Maybe it's like because of my big legs and karate, or maybe it's another scene. Whatever the case might be, let us know down below. All right, guys, if you liked this video, please support it by giving it a thumbs up. And if you are not a subscriber, do me a favor and become a subscriber right now. Thank you guys for watching, and we're gonna see you very soon in another video. And until then, choca la mano.